الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
All right, the family of the family of Eric Garner vows to continue their fight for justice after federal prosecutors decided not to charge a New York City police officer in his choking death. Garner died 5 years ago during an arrest for allegedly selling illegal cigarettes on Staten Island. Police officers knocked him to the ground and put him in a chokehold. His death ignited demonstrations nationwide, and his dying words, "I can't breathe," became a rallying cry in protest against police violence. Yesterday's Garner's daughter and mother gave emotional responses to the Justice Department's decision.
Federal cops don't want to prosecute. Nobody wants to hold nobody accountable. 5 years ago, my son said, "I can't breathe" 11 times. And today, we can't breathe.
Federal prosecutors said evidence does not prove the officers willfully violated Garner's civil rights. Eric Garner's mother, Gwen Carr, joins us at the table. Gwen, good morning. Thank
Good morning.
you for being here. So you've had a night's rest on this. Emotions were raw yesterday. Are you feeling any differently today?
Not really. It's still an insult to injury that they're not going forward with charges, saying that the bar was too high for them to bring charges against a federal indictment.
You said you felt like they killed your son a second time.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Because, of course, on the day, this is the anniversary.
Today?
Today, the anniversary. Yesterday, we didn't find out until in the afternoon on Monday that they wanted to speak with the family.
Mm-hmm.
So now they say they want to speak with the family and then afterwards have a press conference. Well, we thought that we was going to get some positive news.
Yeah.
Well, the other insult came as we are sitting downtown waiting to go into the meeting with the DOJ. The whole world heard the decision before we did.
They did.
The whole
It was released
world.
before.
Yes, and we're sitting, now we see it on our phones, social media text us to tell us what the decision was, and they still hadn't came into the room.
Mrs. Carr, that tape is hard for me to look at,
Yes.
where Eric is being choked. I wonder what it's like for you. You've seen it many, many times. You
And-
knew him, you loved him. What comes to your mind, and are you at the place of forgiveness yet?
No, first of all, no, that tape, it just tears me apart. Every time I look or hear the
Because
sound from that.
what do you see?
I see them killing my son and they're not letting him up. I can't even look at the tape in its entirety. And forgiveness? How do you forgive someone who has taken your child's life? I hear people say they forgive. I know as a Christian you're supposed to forgive, but I'm sorry, I'm not at that space
But the
yet.
encounter started because he was allegedly selling loose cigarettes.
And that
in that
was not
particular
true for
corner.
that day.
For
He
that-
had been in the past
in the
selling loose cigarettes, but that day he was not. He was sitting there with Ramsey Ordo, who had took the video, and they were just sitting there. The police had been sent to make an arrest on someone selling cigarettes. So that's what they want to bring their commando back, someone selling cigarettes, which they did not see that day. And even if he was selling cigarettes, it was not a death sentence.
The New York City Police Department is still considering disciplinary.
Yes,
How much hope do you have?
Well, I'm just hoping Commissioner O'Neill does the right thing. We've been failed by every other source. The de Blasio administration has blocked us up until this point. So I want the de Blasio administration to step up, because he can fire the officer at any time.
You think that officer should be fired?
Yes, he should be fired. At least that would give me closure. It won't be justice for Eric, because Eric is gone. There is no justice for Eric.
Have you talked to the commissioner?
No, I haven't.
We should point out, not a single officer from that day has been disciplined in any way.
Nobody has been disciplined. The only one that's in jail is Ramsey Order.
Now, a lawyer for the officer who applied the chokehold-like maneuver said he's gratified that the Justice Department took the time to carefully review the actual evidence.
No, this was all
What do you say to that
political.
gratification?
No, this was all political, because from the beginning, they brought in a medical examiner that had nothing to do with the case. Brought him in from Missouri
For the autopsy?
for the autopsy. The actual medical examiner told him it was a chokehold. It was a lethal cascade. That's what she called it, a lethal cascade. And the other one's gonna say no. He never even looked at the autopsy. He's just given a
Oh, the paid expert, you're saying?
yeah, the paid
Brought in,
expert.
yeah.
Never looked at the autopsy. He's just giving his opinion.
So what does closure look like to you at this case? And this is a very, very difficult story. We all remember it well here in New York.
Yes.
What does closure look like for you?
Closure looked like the officers, all of them that day, standing accountable for what they did to my son that day. Because even if he was selling cigarettes, it is not a death sentence. My son should not have died that day.
All right.
5 years later, we're still
We're still talking about it.
talking.
Thank you, Gwen. Thank you for
Thank you.
coming today. I know this is very difficult for you.
Yes, on the anniversary, they come the day before
Yeah.
the anniversary
Yeah.
to give us this.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وصلواته وسلامه على سيدنا وحبيبنا رسول الله وعلى آله ومن والاه. الحمد لله الذي علم القرآن وخلق الإنسان وعلمه البيان. الحمد لله الذي أعطانا شهر رمضان تذكيرا لنا لنعود إلى القرآن، وجعل بابا خاصا في الجنة للصائمين اسمه الريان. الحمد لله نحمد الله سبحانه وتعالى ونشكره إليكم، وأوصيكم وأوصي نفسي بتقوى الله في السر والعلنية، فإن مخافة الله رأس كل خير. الحمد لله. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. Allah has given you the prescription of fasting, just as He prescribed it for the peoples before us. All of the previous religious traditions had some element of fasting in their tradition. The Christians used to fast for 40 days. The Jews also had fasting. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us fasting. And then He gives us the reason. It's called Tanbihul Kitab. When Allah tells you why He's doing something. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. In order that you learn piety. This is one of the most important elements of fasting, is to learn piety. And from piety is sabr. And that's why Ramadan is the month of patience. Is learning to be patient. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says the command that He gives in Al-Baqarah is that He created us and those that were before us, and then He told us to worship Him that we might be pious, that we might learn this taqwa. And so the Ramadan is a madrasa, it's a school. It's like continuing education that you go back to, like a physician or anybody that's in a type of practice that needs the skills to be upgraded, enhanced. Ramadan is the yearly time that we return to this school of taqwa and of sabr. The Jumu'ah is the weekly time. The prayers are the daily time that we return, we realign ourselves with the divine. Human beings are in heedlessness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, تَضْحَكُونَ وَتَبْكُونَ وَأَنْتُمْ سَامِدُونَ. You laugh and you are in a state of heedlessness, that you forget your Lord. This is one of
Inauthentic dialogue, Hamza Youssef, the U.S. Department of State, and Habermasian communicative action theory. Hamza Youssef has once again stirred up controversy via his choice of political affiliations. According to an article that appeared in The Guardian on July 8th, the founder of Zaytuna College will be joining a commission at the behest of the Trump administration that intends on reviewing the role of human rights in public policy. The commission draws from a wide range of somewhat well-known and polarizing figures, such as the 2018 Notre Dame Center for Ethics and Culture, Evangelium Vita Medal recipient Mary Ann Glendon, and the U.S. Department of State Director of Policy Planning Karen Skinner, who regards China, was recently quoted as saying that it's the first time we will have a great power competitor that is not Caucasian, which Chinese officials were quick to call out as racist. Many have jumped to Hamza Youssef's defense, contending that this is a chance for a well-known Muslim leader to change the system from the inside and give a voice to Muslims who are critical of secular liberal norm entrepreneurship. Is there a problem with critiquing secular liberal definitions of concepts like human rights? Absolutely not. This is a discussion that is long overdue, in my opinion. I do believe alternatives' voices have been somewhat stifled in this public this public debate over the years, often relegated as ranting by fringe religious partisans whose opinions a priority have been deemed as not worthy of taking seriously. However, the next question I ask here is the following: Is a commission headed by an administration openly hostile to Muslims and that has categorically banned citizens from 5 predominantly Muslim countries from entering the United States, even to live with their American citizens or legal permanent resident spouses and or children, a venue where one can expect authentic Habermasian deliberatives discourse to transpire regarding the role of human rights in American public policy. Once again, I would respond, absolutely not. According to Jürgen Habermas, perhaps the world's most important theorist of communicative dialogue, is there a problem with critiquing secular liberal definitions of concepts like human rights? Absolutely not. This is a discussion that is long overdue, in my opinion, and I do believe alternative voices have been somewhat stifled in this public debate over the years, often relegated as ranting by fringe religious partisans whose opinion a priority have been deemed as not worthy of taking seriously. The words of Hamza Youssef. Okay, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of the History of Community Life, Diversity of Muslim Americans in New England. I'm Hasson, Rashid, your host, and I'll be here with you for about 15 more minutes. Okay, if time permits, we're going to go back into that opening video. The opening video was, not the opening video, but the third video. That was the voice of Hamza Youssef, and he was delivering a khutbah during the month of Ramadan. You know, the Muslim world just went through 30 days of fasting and celebration and glorification of Allah and what is known in the Islamic world as the holy month of Ramadan, which is the 9th month of the Islam calendar. So that was Hamza Youssef in one of the opening videos, and that article I just read something from Hamza Youssef. And this was an article entitled "An Authentic Dialogue." Hamza Youssef, the U.S. Department of State and Habermasian Communicative Action Theory. He is the founder of the Zaytuna College, and he will be joining a commission at the behest of the Trump administration that intends on reviewing the role of human rights in public policy. And as soon as we get more information on that, when that transpires, we definitely will share it with you. So once again, welcome to another episode of the History of Human Life, Diversity, Muslim Americans. I would welcome you with the Universal International Cordial of Peace in the Arabic language, and that is Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. But also we had the opening. One of the open videos was the mother of Eric Gardner, who was interviewed by CBS TV this morning, and it was on the fact that the Department of Justice acquitted the killers of her son, Eric Gardner, the gentleman that they said was selling cigarettes on the streets of New York City. And we're gonna try to and also I played that because today is the anniversary of that atrocious act, which I think they said it was about 4 years ago, but that was the day when today's that anniversary, the day when Eric Gardner was beat down, strangled, choked by the New York City's finest, some members of the New York Police Department. They were let go absolutely without any strings attached. And this is what the interview this morning, CBS TV was all about with Gayle King, and it was about. I guess it was they were getting the view or the opinion of how the mother felt about them acquitting all those gentlemen that were guilty of killing her son. Okay, and I'm quite sure you'll be hearing more about that because they're not finished with it. They're going to still pursue something because they don't feel that they'll be getting justice because those people were acquitted. Okay, etc., etc., etc. Okay, once again, I'm Hasson Rashid, and this is the History of Human Life, Diversity, Muslim Americans. New England. I had Hamza Youssef on, and the khutbah. Well, it was we had to interrupt it, but it's about a 38-minute khutbah, and I guess throughout the rest of the summer we'll be playing portions of it to sort of give you a sort of feel of what was transpired in this past Ramadan 2019, which ended June 4th. And so I got another video about another group of Muslims. This is last video, Hamza Youssef, the Zaytun College. But this is the next video I want to share about a snippet with you. And this is Imam Wardi Muhammad II and MOSAIC Cares, the ministry of the late and great Imam Wardi Muhammad. And this is their leader and new teacher now. That's the son of the Imam Wardi Muhammad. And he wants to share some things with you about the month of Ramadan also that just passed. So if you bear with me for a minute, we're going to try to get that tape on for you and let you share some things with you on the Ramadan session 2019. Okay?
Now I gotta get it off my chest. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Alhamdulillah. And Ramadan Mubarak. Okay. Yeah, I'm really happy. I hope I do justice to this wonderful topic. And I'm satisfied whether I say anything at all that is of real use or you take it back and benefit from it or not. Because this Ramadan session has shown the true value of us continuing these sessions and following in the footsteps of our leader, Imam Muhammad, and the true nature of the of Ramadan has come out in a spirit and a scholarly manner. You see, and that's what that's the true leader. The true leader is the intellectual leader. Prophet Muhammad was one that said the pen is mightier than the sword. So for African Americans, this is why we have so much opposition when it comes to supporting. It's the shaitan that plants the seeds in the minds of the believers to say, well, we shouldn't have a unified, or we have this division that Hafid was speaking about the other day in his presentation of minds and ideas. One person wants, everybody wants to be the leader. They want to be in the role of the God role, or of what they see as God. But most of us don't have the correct picture of God in the first place. So we have what we were given by the shaitan in the world, and our religion offers us the correction for all of those issues and problems. And they don't believe you because of the language environment that they come from and the hypocrisy that Satan has put in the hearts of people. So they don't believe us in our sincerity, or they don't want to believe us. So we have patience, and we hope that someday that more sincerity and more thought will come into how we deal with one another. Because I think that if believers in our community are having Ramadan sessions or having their functions together, that they should first look in the mirror and be honest with themselves. And you may find that Allah will approve of your reason for not accepting the invitation. That we just need to learn how to respect each other.
Okay, protest in Boston and Chicago calls for an end to mob lynching in India. A group of more than 50 people from all walks of life from the greater Boston area assembled in Harvard Square in Cambridge to protest against the unabated pace of mob lynching and the growing threat to human rights of citizens in India, especially those of Muslims, Dalits, and other minorities. The protesters demand justice for the victims and their families, as well as urge for immediate public action to bring an end to hate crimes against minorities. The attendance of the event included individuals of India, South Asia, and America origin, as well as representatives from various organizations. So this is just to give you some type of indication of how people, I guess, in the Muslim community and other communities are standing up all over the world, all over the globe, for the human rights of the innocent people. So if you're not on that bandwagon, I advise you to get on it soon and help to emancipate the innocent people, and those who are deserving of respect and dignity, and who are being deprived through oppression and evil, etc., etc., etc. Okay, I want to try to skip some things that I had planned for you. We never have enough time to do everything we want, but so I'll try to just do something to share with you. Okay, I like to. Okay, this is something that's coming up. Okay, a Muslim Caucus Educational Collective. Okay, first annual conference, Muslim Collective for Equitable Democracy, Washington D.C. on July 23rd, July 24th. If you don't know it, once again, that's the Muslim Caucus Education Collective first annual conference, Muslim Collective for Equitable Democracy in Washington, D.C. on July 23rd and July 24th, 2019. Phobia, real and present, danger in our political discussion, okay? Discussion, okay, I think that's what it says. Okay, okay. The Council on American-Islamic Relations, the nation's largest Muslim civil rights and advocacy organization, will participate in the Muslim Caucus Educational Collective inaugural conference taking place in Washington, D.C., like I said, on July 23rd to July 24th. CARE Director of Government Affairs Robert McCraw will join the issue-based advocacy, health, climate, economic, and racial justice panel on Tuesday, July 23rd from 10:30 to 11:45 p.m. And CARE Senior Litigation Attorney Gladia Abbas will join the Keeping Up the Fight Against the Muslim Ban panel on Wednesday, July 22nd from 9:15 to 10:30 a.m. So if you're able, they invite you to join them for the first annual Muslim Collective Equitable Democratic Democracy Conference, Washington, D.C. on July 23rd and July 24th. So if you'd like additional information on this and you want to register, you can go to this website, www.muslimcaucuscollective.org. Once again, that's a www.muslimcaucuscollective.org. And they invite you to join them down in Washington, D.C. Okay, and don't forget now, coming up Labor Day is the it's the okay, what's that, the 30th, okay, I think it's the 30th annual Muslim convention, which is sponsored by the Ministry of Email Warburton Muhammad, coming up down in New Jersey, once again at the Robert Street Hotel. So if you like additional information on that, this is September, Labor Day weekend. So this is 973-622-1000, and you can call about registration, etc., you know, and okay. And so the theme of the conference, the 30th Annual Muslim Convention by the Ministry of Ibn Muhammad, the theme of the event will be the highest purpose for human life and existence.